Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here on July 14th. Let's jump right into our charts and see what happened in the markets today. First up on our August live cattle, we did see prices losing a little bit of ground here today with price opening up and driving lower all day long, pushing back down towards Friday's lows. We did just briefly undercut it by about 2 ticks, but rallying off and closing there at 219 and a quarter today. Not giving up any major levels here at the moment. No key levels being broken. We still have our bear pivot down here at 217.20. Offers below that would get this thing back into pullback territory and see prices push down here towards this 20-day moving average and potentially into this 50-day moving average as well. We'll have to wait and see how price reacts tomorrow. If we do start to get offers below this prior Friday and Monday's lows, we could see this thing start to head down here towards 217. Last week we did see good support in this area though between 217.20 and 219 with a nice rally coming on Friday off of this Thursday's low. This is an area we'd expect to see the bulls put up a fight here back down near this prior week's value area lows. We do want to see the bulls continue to defend this 217 line, and in the event of any breakdowns below there, we could see this thing pull back and start looking for another dip to buy. But in the meantime, we just want to see how the bulls react tomorrow. If they offer good support down here in this 217 to 219 area, or we just get a nice hit and run action where we get bids back above 220, we should see this thing march back up here towards these recent all-time highs and then potentially beyond. Big picture uptrend still remains intact. Even if we start to see a little bit of a breakdown here, we do expect to see dips be buying opportunities, but we need to see the bears continue pushing this thing about another $2 lower before we get ready for that pullback to come into play. At the moment, we expect to see the bulls support this market here between 217 and 219 and get this thing rallying back up into the 220s. Over to the feeder market now. Did see the feeders losing a little more ground here today, pulling back and closing down below Friday's lows. We did see today's low coming in here just right to this bear pivot at 318.65. Bulls bouncing back off of it, not able to really get much traction there below it. In the event of offers below this level tomorrow, we could see this thing pull back here towards this 20-day moving average as well, and see a pullback kind of get underway in this feeder market, as we are coming off of some overbought levels. But in the meantime, we could see this thing continue to trade in a wide range here between 318 and 325. And bulls need to defend this 318.65 bear pivot as we head into tomorrow and push this thing back towards all-time highs. But if we start to see offers coming in below that, look for a pullback to come into play. We do see dips still as buying opportunities, so be on the lookout for support to step in the event of a pullback, as this big picture uptrend still remains intact. Over to the corn market now. We did see prices pushing lower off the Sunday night open down to new contract lows at 407. If you take a look here on our lower time frame, we can see most of that action was contained to the Sunday night open, rallying back, and then the day session spent most of its time trading between 414 and 418 with a strong rally into the close, getting a close there above that bull pivot at 418. This could open the door to a potential pullback from here, a little bit of a relief rally after this recent breakdown to new contract lows. Engulfing all Friday's action and getting that close above the bull pivot, we could see this thing start to flow back up here towards this 20-day moving average. Big picture downtrend still remains intact. Lots of resistance overhead, so we do expect to see the bears continue pushing this thing lower. Just a little bit of a relief rally that may come into play here. Look for resistance anywhere from this gap from last Sunday night's open. Last week in the 430 to 433 area, resistance at this prior breakdown level around 434, this downtrend line, and our major moving averages all declining and coming into play in this area. So plenty of overhead resistance. So in the event of a pullback here, if we see this thing start to come up, we'll be looking for some of these areas to offer resistance and see if the bears are able to turn this thing back down and head back towards that $4 mark. And look for this corn market to continue getting cheaper. Just in the near term, we could see a little bit of a relief rally come into play and offer better opportunities to get short from higher prices. Oil market continues to chop around, really not picking a direction. We did see a brief breakout above our 69 bull pivot today, but that market getting reversed, pushing back down here near Friday's lows as well. At the moment here in the evening session, we are starting to see continued downside, just getting real close to breaking down below our bear pivot here at 66.5. Look for continued offers below 66.5 to push this thing back down towards 64 to 65. Not a whole lot of directional confidence here at the moment. Look for this market to continue chopping up and going sideways. Over to the equity markets now. Our indexes all kind of seeing a nice rally here today. The S&P picking up some of the ground that it gave back on Friday, closing up here around 63.09. Right here in the evening session tonight, we are seeing these futures pushing up and retesting that new all-time high at 63.35. Any bids above 63.15 into the day session tomorrow, we could see this thing start to break out and continue pushing up here towards 64 as this low volatility uptrend remains intact and this market remains very strong and healthy. We should see that upside continue, but also just real low volatility, choppy action up here in this area at the moment. So sit tight with any longs. Better time to be deploying capital would be in the event of a pullback, but we may just not get it. We're going to see this thing continue to chop up and drift higher or in the near term. NASDAQ also gaining back some ground here today, and the Dow also putting in a low or violating our prior week's low, but showing a nice recovery there, closing up here today at 44,676. We do expect to see this Dow continue to play catch up with these other indexes. The S&P and NASDAQ have both seen all-time highs recently, and we are waiting for the Dow to catch up and put in a new all-time high here as well, and that could be coming here before the end of the week. So be on the lookout for more upside in the equity markets as well. That's all we got for this evening. Everyone have a good night.